That was fun.
And we're live. Hey, peeps, it's your girl K-Cee Deeva here. I hope you are having a very nice Thursday. 1 week away, it's Thanksgiving. And you know what? I put it like this. If you're sitting here, if you're watching us, if you're watching the Seahawks game, they're playing right now, if you're here and you're living, you're breathing, you're blessed and you have a lot to be thankful for.
Mhm.
There's a lot of craziness going on, but at the same time, there's a lot to be thankful for. If you're sitting here and you're upright and you're breathing and you're healthy, So anyway, I'm K-Cee Deeva. This is Dish with Diva. Real talk, real people. Been catching up with my peeps throughout the last couple of months. It's a new platform. If you're just joining me, we used to be on Rainer Avenue Radio.world. Love my peeps over there. Shout out Tony Benton. Shout out KZ, D Money, all my peeps from Rainer Avenue. Decided to branch out and do some of this video stuff and having a ball doing it and having some great people to talk to, like my guest tonight, uh, very talented comedian, funny guy, Stephen Mays. Hey, Stephen, how you doing?
What's up? What's up? How you doing? Thank you.
I'm, I'm doing great.
Already
I'm doing great. Now, where are you joining us from?
I'm at my apartment / studio.
What city?
Seattle.
Oh, you are in Seattle. Okay, I wasn't
We're
sure
like
because
C-Tech.
see
That's
that.
what you
Okay,
look.
so you're in
Yeah, yeah,
Seattle. Okay, I know you travel a little bit sometimes, but of course now not a lot of people are traveling, but there are some that are. So
yeah.
you know. Okay, so before we get started, I have to share this with the peeps because this was just the funniest thing. Now, I'm on the stream. It's called StreamYard. I love the streaming service. It's been really really cool so far to do all my shows from. And what I do is before the show, I send a link out to my guest, and so they click on the link. We're able to chit chat before we go live, and then we go live like we are now. So my dear friend Steven here, I sent him the link and I said, okay, this is the link you hit to join me. He's like, okay. So I'm waiting. All of a sudden, I see somebody pop on. So I have to admit people, right? So if you Zoom out there, it's very similar to Zoom. So I click on it, and I actually see somebody that kind of looks like him. So I'm thinking, but he's my friend that was on had a nice shiny red do rag on, and he's got the TV in the background. He's clearly chilling, right? And so I'm like, wow, Steve, he's real relaxed. But okay, cool. That's what it's about. And then I'm looking, I'm like, but something's off. And he's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, hey, how's it going? He's like, I'm just waiting for my homeboy Steve. And I said, wait, who are you? It's like, wait, hold on.
Because
Who
I
is
didn't
this?
know I didn't know that was like thing for just for me personally. I thought that was something you sent out. And my mom would text me. He texted me talking about you had me on there talking to that lady looking crazy. My mom would text like, "Oh, turn the camera off." I didn't know. So this is new for me. When it's cool though, I like that. It's like
It's all
I'm
good.
talking,
It's it's all good.
huh?
It made me laugh. I got a good chuckle out of it. And shout out to your
Oh
homeboy. He's
yeah.
very, very friendly, very nice. So hopefully he's watching now.
Okay.
But I was telling Steve, unfortunately, the platforms, Instagram isn't allowing streaming platforms to join them right now. So, can you hear me? Okay,
Picking up.
Steven, are you there?
Oh. We ain't playing for this. I'm here, but we ain't playing for this. I'm here. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, depending
Can
on
you? I
depending
can
on
hear
your
you.
location.
Say,
Okay, good.
chopping
Depending on
up.
your location, sometimes it gets a little glitchy. So I can hear you. Um, all right. So that was a fun way to start things out. Again,
Okay.
welcome to the show. If your first time checking us out, thank you so much for joining me. Hey, if you're an artist, if you're doing something cool out there, if you're an entrepreneur, hit me up. I'm on Instagram, on IG, at K-Cee Deeva. Excuse me, at MZ, Ms. K-Cee Deeva. If you are on Facebook, it's K-Cee Deeva. And I'm also on Twitter, at K-Cee Deeva Show. So hit me up. I'm also on YouTube. So this show streams live on YouTube as well. And that's at K-Cee Deeva shows. And I also do another show called Northwest Nightcap. We do once a month, every first Thursday of the month. So hopefully you'll catch that in a couple of weeks. All right. So back to my guest, Stephen. Thanks for joining me. I had you on Northwest Connection when I was with Rainier Avenue Radio. We had a great time there, chopping up, laughing. Things have drastically changed in the last year for a lot of folks. How are you doing? How are you doing? How's your family? Everybody healthy? Where, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, and my family, they strong, and can say for me, I'm watching back, and it's like, dang, I'm not losing as much as other folks. So it's like I really want to say that everything's going good for me in these times, and I just want to, as far as I can do what I can with comedy, as far as online, and just, hey, bring you some temporary relief in some kind of way.
Yes.
I'm just
We need
trying to
that.
stay on that and connect on others. I appreciate for the ones that's watching too. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, and when we're done here, we'll have you be sure to give out all your social media and where they can find your videos because, we want them to be able to find you. So,
Okay.
a lot's going on. It has gone on. Let's talk about the election. Were
Okay.
you surprised at the results? Were you happy? Did you do a happy dance like a lot of folks around the country? What was your reaction when you heard the news?
I mean, it was a sense of relief. I'm not big on politics,
Yeah.
and this was my first year voting.
Okay,
So I
good
feel
for
like,
you.
it was, yeah, that was my
Good
first
for
year voting,
you.
and and it felt like a relief, but it wasn't like I was overly excited because
Sure.
with way shit going, you don't know which way things can go, so it wouldn't be a surprise either way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I feel you on that. I feel you on that. But good for you getting out there and voting for the first time. There's a lot of folks that this was their first time to vote. And
Yeah.
I think the message really came home like, hey, if you want change, this is how you do it. I mean, we can protest till, our feet are blue. We can, scream, yell, whatever, but we have to vote. That's the only way you're really going to make a difference. So yeah, kudos to you for that. Um, you know, uh, did you happen to catch Dave Chappelle and his Saturday Night Live, monologue?
Yeah, I caught the opening act. I didn't see the whole skit, but I caught the opening act.
Yeah, the opening, right, the very first, yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I have specific questions, but what were your initial thoughts?
I was touched.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it felt like he was speaking for, he's speaking for himself. He wasn't, he was
Mm-hmm.
just speaking for himself. But in these times we needed another breath of fresh air, and it was funny. It was always funny, and it was
Yeah,
something that we needed, like people wanted to hear, needed to hear, and he was just one of those people that speaks. Everybody just listens, no matter if you hate him or not. Just
you're
you
gonna
just sit
listen.
and listen. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and of course, and I watched it. I loved it, and I love Dave Chappelle anyway. But the thing I love about him is he's real and he's raw, and
Mm-hmm.
what you see is what you get. And I'm sure Saturday Night Live. I mean, he's been on the show before, so I'm sure they were intentional in choosing him and the timing that he was on
Yeah.
as well. But of course, there was a lot of backlash. I mean, if you saw the monologue, there were a lot of the N word. He said the N word a lot, which makes certain folks uncomfortable. Um, he talked about like, he wish his grandfather was alive to see like, his success and where things were and how, things have changed. I mean, we've got a black female vice president, now. He made a couple of comments that rubbed some folks the wrong way. He said something, and I'm paraphrasing, like, what is the big deal about, poor white folks not want to wear masks? You wear them at the Klan rallies, So he said something. He said some
Yeah, that
things that,
was
yeah,
yeah,
you know what I
that
mean.
was
He said
funny.
some
That was
things that
funny.
I thought it was hilarious and probably somewhat
Yeah.
true. But I also thought, I'm like, oh boy, I'm sure he's ready, because
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow people got something to say. But here's my thing when it comes to comedy, and I'd love to get your thoughts on it. I look at like the Dave Chappelle's, Kevin Hart, if you remember, a while back, was a couple years ago, he was slated to host the Oscars. Someone took it upon themselves to dig, back in some of his old tweets and social media stuff where he said some things about, the gay community and made a big deal about it. And in essence, kind of forced him to resign, this big opportunity, that he had.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, as he put it, his dream was like, if I ever get to host the Oscars, I've made it. And so when and there's the list goes on and on and on, but what I'm curious from you as a comedian yourself, you know, is there a line you think that some comedians cross that maybe they shouldn't? Like a Dave Chappelle and some of the things he said, like he made light of coronavirus, like, hey, before that, there was all this crime and violence, and now, people are locked up, so they can't commit as many crimes. And, some people take that the wrong way. There's people that
Mm-hmm.
lost, loved ones to coronavirus, or some people that might be sick with it. So, as a comedian yourself, like, do you feel like, hey, you know what, that's what we do. We make fun of things and make light of it, or do you think that sometimes there it can be like a fine line?
I just finding balance in between the two, and you're gonna say more of this side, you're gonna say more of this, and it's gonna come out to a balance. Because some stuff
Mhm.
that's said, yeah, it's hurtful, but and as a comedian, like most comedians and somebody like Dave, any comedian, they don't want to go out there and offend somebody naturally, but it's just, hey, you gotta say it. And some
Mhm.
people they ain't gonna like it, and then it's cool. It's still cool at the end of
Right.
the day, because
Right.
I mean, you have a decision to make,
Yeah.
and everybody want to stand in their decision. Everybody has a how they, a comedian is an individual, and
Mhm.
so that's like 60 different people want to go their individual ways, but and how they present it,
Mhm.
and that's pretty much
Yeah.
said. That's all I got to say on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Have
Yeah.
you yourself, you've done a lot of stand up
Mm-hmm.
in your career. Have you, run into instances like, have you gotten like angry emails or people after the show maybe say, what I'm saying? Like somebody come in like,
I
man, you said that. I gotta, cut some minutes, whatever. I don't know.
I wish I get an angry. That would be cool to get an angry email. Now, if I ever get an angry email, then I feel like, okay, now I'm doing good.
Okay.
But nah,
Okay.
not an angry email. That's good. Thank you for putting me on that right path. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Right.
But
Well,
but
they
not a.
just said,
But yeah,
go
I've
ahead.
had that. I've had that. But it's just I know what I'm saying. It's just coming from something from me, and it's something I feel, talked about, just thought about something, and I'm coming from just a place for me, and I'm not coming in with no
Yeah.
no malicious act. I'm not trying to do that. It's good intentions, but a lot of times we talk about racism, yeah, it's because
Mhm.
it's touchy. It's still touchy for folks,
Sure.
but it's
I think it's always going to be. I think it's just one of those
mm-hmm.
topics that people are always going to be up in arms about. Regardless. It's never going to go away, and it's always going to make some people uncomfortable. Me personally, I feel like, I mean, I don't get offended when I hear things, whether it's a black joke or a female joke, or I don't get
Yeah.
offended by those things but from comedians, because I feel like that's your job. You're making light of the serious things so we can kind of escape for a little bit, you
Yeah, and that's
know.
how, and that's where you get a lot of acceptance too through
Mhm.
laughter. You get more people,
Yes,
be more easier to accept things too.
yes,
And
yes, absolutely.
I and that is funny because I've heard, I've heard comments like somebody say, well, if I say a black joke,
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm like, well, just say it. If
Mm-hmm.
it's not meant to be racist, just say it. You shouldn't have no problem saying it.
Right. But there's still that hesitation, like they
Yeah,
don't want to get.
and I can understand that too. It
Yeah,
is a hesitation. I can understand that too. But
they don't want to get booed or.
but when I hear that, I'm like, why are you saying
Right.
it? Why are you coming to me like that?
Right.
It's like, nah, why you
Like,
saying
let
that?
me hear the joke first, and then let me
Yeah.
let you
Nah,
know.
what you trying to test it out on me? You trying to?
Right.
I'm trying to. Nah.
Well, so what are some of your favorite topics to kind of poke fun of? Do you have any favorite go tos or?
It's just it's I don't. I never thought about. I can't thought about that. I try to talk about, I guess, what I'm comfortable with.
Uh,
I'll say that at first. I try to talk about what's more comfortable with, and it's just everyday life, what I see, dealing with racism, uh, have fun with the dating life, and now that I'm getting into politics with that too,
yeah.
observational comedy, and I try to just be imaginative too. It's saying, I would just
Mhm.
really like to just touch on all bases of just whatever. Just be. I don't give a fuck. Just be free with it.
Yeah.
It's just talk
Like,
about whatever. That's what comedy is. I don't think it's a limit to it. You can be able to.
yeah.
You got it, construct it. People can understand it, relate. You got it. Is you just do it. If you got it, just that's what I feel
Right.
like. If you're doing it, if you're in art, just you be able to be free with it.
Right. As long as you're
Mm-hmm.
funny, because I'm that person that's gonna be like, if you're not funny.
And
I'm that
that's
person.
pressure.
You
Yeah,
can't make me
uh-huh.
laugh,
That's
dog.
that type of pressure. You better, as soon as you come out, you better be funny.
You
Like,
better be funny.
you ain't let me get my first. You ain't let me introduce myself. You better be fun. You just looking at me.
Right.
I'm just, dang,
I look. I spent my 25 hard-earned dollars.
for real.
I need to laugh.
That's real. That's for sure. Mm-hmm.
Well, so now let's talk a little bit about you know, with COVID and the pandemic and the lockdowns and so forth, it's really hurt your industry as well. You're not able to do the stand-up shows. you know, uh, so I know a lot of comedians, a lot of artists, musicians that I've had on the show have gone to this type of platform, a video platform, to still try to keep the entertainment going, to still, be out there and be present. And I know you've done
Mm-hmm.
some. So talk a little bit about that experience. How's that been for you, making that shift
From you
from
say repeat that
stand up
again. I
to
lost you on that
doing more
last part.
video? Yeah.
Well, this time just gave me opportunity to do those videos because it's something I've had ready. So I was like, oh, okay, you know, this is perfect time just to take advantage of that and
Yeah.
just put them out there while I have this, not doing comedy.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
So is it so you had to choose, right? So let's say, God willing, things go back to normal.
Mm-hmm.
Would you go, you want to go back to doing the stand-up, or do you want to continue with the videos, or do you think you want to, kind of make time for both?
I would make time for both.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It would be both, and so that's it definitely be that.
So where do you get your inspirations for the videos? Is it like every, real life experiences, or you just kind of sit there and just think up scenarios, or where do you get those?
Come from experiences. It's a mixture between experiences, things that kind of just flow to me,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a mix between all those, and just what I listen to, what I take in. So,
Okay.
mm-hmm.
So who are some of your favorite comedians?
Oh, I gotta say Eddie Griffin, Chris Rock, Patrice O'Neal, Bill Blur, who it's so many. Wanda Sykes, Richard Pryor. I like the old greats because I try to pay homage to them.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Chappelle, of course. I like Kevin Hart. He grew on me a lot for the past years.
Mm-hmm.
And man, Bernie, it's so many of them. Steve
There's so
Harvey,
many.
Cedric Entertainer. Uh,
A long list, huh?
yeah, it's so many of
So,
them.
what do you think about, a lot of those people you named have crossed over from just doing the stand up into like, movies, movies. I mean, Steve Harvey, he's, the Family Feud, Steve Harvey's just done everything. He's written books and it's been in movies and,
Yeah,
television and whatever, you know. But one thing I hear when I hear the interviews from these,
Mike Epps,
folks,
Cat Williams.
when I hear them, talking about how they got to where, doing the movies and such, it's taken a really long time. That's one thing that Steve
Mm-hmm.
Harvey said. It's like, you know, the patience and perseverance and, for him was kind of a rough road initially, the beginning and such. For someone maybe that's out there, that wants to pursue, comedy, what advice would you have for them? Like, how do you kind of get the first steps? How do you, I have some friends I think are really funny, and I always laugh and say, "Hey, you Mr. Colin, you should be doing stand up," But how does someone really know that they have
I mean, I appreciate that because I'm still asking for advice. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. So I appreciate you asking me for that.
But I think you're a pretty funny guy, so I think you could give some advice.
I mean, I'm just, I'm still watching, the Steve Harveys and all the interviews from the great, still trying to learn. Cat Williams and
Mhm.
Mike Epps. I'm still watching their interviews often to learn, and and I'm just having fun with it, and that's what I'm picking up from them. They
Yeah.
just really love what they do and having fun with it, and it looked like they stayed, strong with their ideas and
Mhm.
stayed core to themselves. And yes, of course, as you transition, things are different, but you can see they still enjoy the love and fun and ups and downs with it at whatever, and that's what I see. And so
Mhm.
that's what I just wanted to have fun, continue to do what I do with it, just still have fun with it, create what I create, work on the next idea, and still trying to stay polished, still getting better.
Yeah. Right on. I think that's amazing. I think it's amazing when you have a chance to, do your craft, do what you love, and have fun doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, so where can folks, let's give out your social media and all of that, if they want to check out your videos or some of your previous, shows and such, where do they go?
You can go to my IG at that's amazeproductions.com. A.mays productions. Yeah, and that's Instagram, and my Facebook is Stephen Mays.
All right.
And and I just got my YouTube started. It's
Oh,
A.Mays
right.
Productions as well. And I'm not good with that, and I'm working on that too. And so, but I got the YouTube A.Mays Productions too as well. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. A. Mays Productions. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Well, I'll tell you, I'll add it in. Once this video is posted, I'll add it in the notes so that people can,
I got
they
you.
can get to write down, they can remember as well. So, well, thank you so much for joining me, Stephen. It's been fun to laugh and chat with
Yeah, yeah.
you.
Thank you for having
Um,
me. Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll definitely have you back. And, keep up the good work. Keep making us laugh. We need it right now. We need to laugh. We need to laugh at ourselves and just everything going on so that we can get to the next day. I think laughter is so important for mental health,
Mm-hmm.
to stay sane during all this craziness.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. All right. Well, you take care of yourself. And I'm just going to wrap up here with our little video. Thank you, folks, for joining me tonight. I'll be on next Thursday. Well, next Thursday's Thanksgiving. So I'm going to take the day off and enjoy with my family. And I might I'll have to pick maybe one of the older shows to rerun. One of the first shows we did, when we got started. I might have to do that. So we'll see. In the meantime, you take care of yourself. Please wear your mask because I'm tired of being locked in the house. Wear your mask. The
Yeah.
numbers will go down. I can't impress that
Why?
enough.
Hold on. wash your hands too. You know what?
Thank you.
Since we on that, wait a minute, because this has been pre-pandemic. This has been
Right.
pre-pandemic, and I've been seeing a lot of people walking in the bathroom. Now, these is men, so I'm just saying. And even in the middle of the pandemic, I'm seeing them. I'm like, bro, did you just spreading shit all over everywhere? You literally just came off the toilet.
Just nasty. Please
And
wash
I'm
your
like,
hands.
man, please do that. You know, please
Well,
do that.
I forget who said it. It was right in the beginning of the pandemic. Remember, everybody was hoarding tissue and soap you couldn't find. Like I like Dial has this foaming antibacterial soap that I love for my bathroom. Couldn't find it anywhere. Amazon was charging like $50 for like 2 bottles. It was ridiculous.
They was getting hustle on right there. Yeah.
But someone said, I can't remember who it was. One of my friends said, you know what concerns me is why are we all of a sudden out of soap? Like, you mean all these people ain't been using soap before?
That was big talked about. That was like why all of a sudden y'all started because I was really good on toilet tissue and soap. You know, when they hit, I was like, I don't know. It's just me, but it's like, dang, I was good. I was good. And then when I need I see this, I was seeing the madness behind it. Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly.
It was yeah. 2020 has been something to, like it's been hard, but for me, it's just really been like, wow. This is gonna be real fun when things open back up. It's gonna be real fun,
I'm thinking
we're gonna have
a
some
lot
real
of
fun.
material, my friend.
Yeah, and it's not even just the material. I'm talking about. I feel like the folks gonna be like trying to have genuine fun now. It's just gonna be like, you know what? We finna just have fun when we out here.
Right.
No matter what, we just finna have fun, whatever. Because we ain't got time for this shit no more.
Exactly. But I'm gonna tell you what. I'm ready to have fun. I'm ready to do it all. But you know what? I need you to still stay 6 feet from me, please.
Got you. Agreed, for sure.
Let's keep the 6 feet rule till we're for sure. Until we have a vaccine of some sort. That's all I'm saying. All right, peeps. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna play.
All right.
All right, peeps. Later.
Okay.
Bye, Steven.
I'll talk to you later. Yeah, I ain't know what happened. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
I'm getting